Welcome, everybody. Another video lecture by your favorite professor. So, what we have here is I'm going to go over some of the code of the pizza order form. So, previously, I just let everybody look at the code. However, because a pizza order form is now an actual assignment, can't just let everybody stare at the code. However, I will go over some parts that are very generic and might give you some ideas of what's going on. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. So first thing, go over this pizza order form. Let us review the actual item. That's fine. Item CS. Okay. So if you remember back here, I made this an interface, as you can see. Item, very generic. And you can debate back and forth whether it should have been an interface or abstract or just a regular class that you inherited. That's fine. I mean, it's very fluid, loose in the fact that it can be multiple ways to interpret it. But anyway, here's my item. Basic item have a price, quantity, and then a type. So that's the way of just saying what type of item you have: cookie, pizza, drink. Maybe there's other things like hot wings. I didn't have any hot wings in this example, but hot wings is very possible because it opens it up to any and all types. Okay. Then here in a drink, here I create multiple different drinks. Blow this up a little bit. Okay, so I have get price. Definitely need to put some comments on here, and I probably will in the future. Get total, the basic drink, set quantity. So that's my basic drink. I had this add, subtract one and add one because I was going to give it the ability to in the cart, or once it's on the order, a person could still add or subtract one. I did not implement that capability, but that was a future thing I was going to do. And pizza looks just the same. So in this example, all my drinks were one size. I didn't give them multiple sizes. Here, notice I have quantity, type, and then size. So I added to the pizza class after it took on the interface of an item to have it have three different size, or actually just have sizes. Okay. Within the code, we gave it three different sizes, and then setting the price based on the size, small, medium, or large, or small, medium, and then if they don't give us one, it's a large. Okay. Same thing, get total, get quantity, and then the ability to add or subtract one, move up or down the quantity that someone has brought into. Now, going to the form itself, how I started off is I create a list of orders. So you probably want to see what an order looks like, and I'll show you what an order looks like. It's real simple. So I create a drink list of orders, and then here this is just the basic starting up of a form. Okay. When someone submits an order, button order click. Okay. So from the main form, once someone goes to an order, they actually that's when the order form actually pops up, and then you can do things with it. Create the order, add a pizza, add a drink, things like that. So here's where you would click that button, order, right? And then you would place a new order, and then the other one would be where you would view the order. Okay. So those are the two forms I had: view the order or place the order. Very simple. Okay. And so let's look at the order, what an order looks like. So the order itself has different statuses: not submitted, submitted, processing, complete, deleted. And you saw that inside of the when I was on the order form, when I was on the view order, you saw how you can move it to different statuses. Okay. And then inside of order, I create basically a list of pizzas, sides, and then drinks. Okay. And then I give it a status, initial status, which can be changed. Other things there, like I said, I'm not going to go over all the code simply because it is one of the assignments. So can't have somebody just copying and pasting and not learning anything. Oops, sorry, I went back too far. So we'll look at one more: view order or place order. Let's see here. Okay, we'll go place order. Okay. So when a person places an order, right, and you saw mine, I had like a pizza box, a side box, and then a drink box. Okay. Which I create a list of all of them. Create a list. Order has all three. So I have the boxes, one big order list, which a person on that can place as many orders as they want to, as you saw in the movie. Sir, as you saw in the video, not the movie. All right. I think right here, this is some static messages that you see, and I talked about that in the video, what you can look up to make that happen, where you have that text that is grayed out, and then as soon as somebody puts their finger in it, it goes away. So that's somewhat helpful. You want to look into that, watch the video. Okay. So placing an order. So when someone places an order, you send the list of the order, right? Take the order list, manually create pizza quantity combo box. This is manually creating this the side box. So that's where I create it. Okay. Manually create the drink quantity box. So I'm putting it on the screen manually. It's not already there. All right. Make user uh, info multi-line and change the height. Okay, so that's what I did right here. I make it in multi-line so you can see multiple lines on the boxes. Okay. And here I'm setting that default text. Like I said, you can look into that, see how to make that happen. And we'll do one more function. Create a combo box from scratch. Okay. This is me creating a combo box. So that form is blank when it comes up, and I put things on there. Okay. Which is fine. You just got to make sure that if you do it that way, that you double check it and make sure everything is spaced out the way it should be. And let's see what else I did. Like this is one big function, doing a lot of different little bitty things. Okay, this is the user info. And so you notice I do have certain things like a default name, an order ID, which I generate, email, phone number, and then notes. Notes are usually empty, but I bring that in right before I actually add it to the order. Okay. This happens when you cancel an order. Obviously, it just closes. So if you cancel an order, it closes, doesn't do anything. Or if you go back to the main menu, it closes, doesn't record anything. Okay, submit. So once someone has put in all their details of an order and they submit, okay, this actually calls the order submitted button, right? So inside the order is a submit button and it handles the submission. Okay. And when it adds to order, this is actually adding to the order of that actual, so it's not submitting, it's adding. So a person can go in there, they can put in their details, right? And then they can add to the order, but they haven't actually submitted it yet. So it's like you making a list. You can make a list of all the things you want. Okay, yeah, I want to, it's like if you go to DoorDash and you say, okay, I'll take a number one from this place, and you hit that plus button, and then it goes into your cart. So you have the actual submission, and this is right here is like adding to the cart, adding to the order. Okay. So it takes everything that's in that pizza list, everything that's in the drink list, everything that's in the sides, and then it sets it up. So order, this is an interesting one. Let's go back and look at that one. Order submitted on my order. So let's look at order and see what happens when we submit something. Okay. So let's look for the submit. Scroll down. Override toString. So I had a payment method that I was going to implement. I didn't add that. Have an add pizza. Have a get status. Order submitted. Okay, let's just change the status to submitted. Okay. Change the status to processing. And then something deleted. Change the status to delete. Okay. That gets the quantity so a person can tabulate the total so you can get the quantity of your pizza, adds the sides. Okay. So order submitted, when you submit the order, it just takes what's defined as an order and takes that whole list, right? And it's now submitted. Okay. So a single order can have, so let's look at this real quick. A single order can have as many pizza sides and drinks as you want. So if you go to DoorDash, you can make multiple orders if you want to, right? You can order from multiple places, right? They probably don't want you to place an order at Pizza Hut and then come back and place another order within 5 minutes, although you probably can. Okay. But you can make multiple orders from multiple places. And one or more people might come pick it up. So when you're on that order form, you can make multiple orders, right? And then once you submit, it takes everything in that list, right? It tags it with the same, excuse me, order status because the order class has a list of pizzas, sides, and drinks, and then it's all tied to the same order status. which is submitted. So it starts out as unsubmitted, puts things in the list, puts the pizzas in the list, puts the sides in the list, put the drinks in the list. And then when it's done, it'll just say, oh, you are now submitted. And so it's all tied to the class. So it has a class with the status, and inside the class are a list of items that a person placed, which make up an order. All right, so yours, I believe, is a little bit different. It's doing some different things. Probably not doing everything that I'm doing. And yes, this was the first thought through. So yes, the first wash through, the first thought through will not be optimal, right? I think I did this probably one day, maybe two. So I could have done this more optimal ways besides just adding comments. And there are like a couple bugs in here, so you don't want to just copy and paste this. There are some bugs in here. But that is a little bit of the code for a pizza order form, which is not 100% what you are doing for those who are in the class where you actually make a pizza order form. This is not the same. So if you copy and paste, you might be getting the wrong grade. So don't say, "Ooh, look, I can copy and paste this." Yeah, don't do that. But thank you for watching. Feel free to communicate with me in the class uh, by way of messenger. Have a wonderful day.